This one was collected in 1821. And then this one here beneath it was collected much more recently, 1976. A herbarium is a biodiversity collection. It's a natural history collection of dried plants, algae, and fungi. More broadly, you could think of them as physical databases of plants going back centuries. We have about 300,000 specimens. They date back to the late 1700s, and they're from all over the globe, so all continents are represented, and all different kinds of plant groups. They record where plants were growing, what they look like, when they were growing there, and they're even sources of DNA. And so for that reason, they're fundamental for taxonomy, ecological research, evolutionary research, and conservation. Many of the specimens were collected by Yale faculty, staff, students. All right, so we're going to document the occurrence of this, this magnolia tree. So I'm going to start out looking for a part of the plant, a branch with some leaves, and ideally reproductive structures, flowers or fruits. And so what we'll do is we're going to press this plant into newspaper. It's a convenient way to sort of house the specimen initially and keep track of it. So you're kind of making a little sandwich, and you would make a number of these little sandwiches in your field press. And at the end of the day, when you're done working, you would take these out and put them into a normal press and then dry them. What we're going to do now is we're going to what we call mount a herbarium specimen. And so at this stage, it's a very arts and crafts oriented sort of endeavor in many ways. And I've had students and volunteers do this work, and they actually really enjoy it. And it involves paper and glue and scissors and little strips of linen tape. And the way to think about this process, what I tell students and volunteers when they're doing this, is that this plant might sit in a herbarium 500 years. It might be handled by multiple people, consulted again and again. Just having this record of where things were growing and when they occurred there and what they look like is immensely valuable in and of itself, without any sort of new technological development happening, I think.